When you believe in somebody so much, when you believe in somebody like Donald Trump, and I can speak to this because I actually did believe in him for a very long time. I think that when you put it all on the line and believe in somebody, I think it's easier than to just want to believe that the FBI, that law enforcement, that the people who go to help us when we're in trouble would be behind something, rather than admitting that the person you've been backing for years and years is a fraud and actually doesn't care about the American people or our country.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here. And what is democracy? Democracy is having the freedom to act and speak freely. Stephanie Grisham joined CNN's Michael Acosta on Newsroom Sunday to talk about the January 6th attack. Grisham was a longtime believer in Donald Trump.
I say that just from personal experience. It was really hard for me to come to terms with who he was because I really believed in him, his policies, and the person I thought he was. So that's what I think. I think that people just would rather believe these conspiracy theories rather than admit that they were wrong about this person.
Grisham was the first White House press secretary to not hold briefings. She regularly appeared on news shows to talk about what was going on in the Trump administration. Grisham explained that she knows that Donald Trump knows that he's lying. She would know too. She was with him for 6 years. He knows all he has to do is continue spewing his garbage and his undereducated followers will believe him.
He knows his base believes in him. He knows he can basically say anything and his base will believe what he's saying. Now, I think this will help propel him into the general, but I think that independents and, center-leaning Republicans are not going to be buying this. They're much, much smarter than that. And so I think that he's going to get in trouble in the general with this kind of these kind of lies.
So when he says that, the FBI, Antifa, that kind of stuff, you think he knows he's lying?
I know he knows he's lying. I was with him nonstop for 6 years. He knows that all he has to do is continue to say these things and people will believe him.
Grisham told Acosta that she had a hard time coming to terms with the fact that Donald Trump was a disgusting liar. Campaign staffers have the responsibility of making their candidates look good, no matter what the situation is. So when you have a high-profile person like Grisham who has come out from under the spell of Donald Trump, it says a lot. Grisham became disillusioned by Donald's behavior during the January 6th attack and resigned shortly after. Grisham came out as a vocal critic of Trump when she finally realized that he was a con man and was hell-bent on overthrowing the government because he couldn't admit to having lost.
Donald Trump lives in his own reality and he lies casually, but he's very, very good at it. He used to teach me, Stephanie, as long as you keep repeating something, it doesn't matter what you say. And I will bring us back to 2019 when Hurricane Dorian was coming. And Donald Trump wrote on a map that it was going to hit a part of the country that it wasn't going to really hit, even after being briefed by the National Weather Service. So this is something he's done over and over and over. And I really hope that people will understand that this is just what he does.
She portrays the Trump faithful as being devoted to his delusions and unwilling to change because of their emotional investment in his lies. It's never easy for someone to take an honest inventory of themselves. Some people do not have the capacity to be honest with themselves or others. They double down in defense of their own dysfunctional thinking instead of admitting they're part of the problem. What Grisham is describing is self-centered and selfish behavior. The Trump faithful would rather believe in a conspiracy than the truth because it's easier for their twisted minds to accept. This is why Donald Trump loves the undereducated. It's because they are easy to control and foolish with their money. The Trump faithful lack self-identity and compensate by wearing Trump socks and underwear everywhere they go. While many Trump supporters have abandoned him, his diehard supporters remain locked into a cycle of insanity. Some folks learn through hard knocks and some don't. The problem with Trump supporters is that they're a lot like their orange Lord and Savior. They have a hard time with the truth. Accountability seems like persecution to someone who has gotten away with being a tyrant their entire lives. They support Donald because he gives them the permission to be the worst versions of themselves that they can possibly be. Most of them will continue to spew MAGA lies because critical thinking is not their strong suit. Neither is compassion, humility, or tolerance of others. The Trump faithful are delusional hypocrites, and that is an absolute fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.